Yes?
Yeah, I would take that a step further. There were 2 films this year that had, in my opinion, a full nationwide audience potential that were distributed by LGBT themed studios. So you had War of the World Mine, which, correct me if I'm wrong, that won the Outfest Audience Award. Jury. And Noah's Ark. And Noah's Ark, the week that it was released, had the record for that week for per average screening.
It's the highest grossing gay film of the year.
Yet, here's the thing for me, living here in Salt Lake City and also having lived in New York on 23rd and Lexington, it never came anywhere. It stayed in the same 5 screens until it fizzled out. This was a film that had almost no marketing behind it. Clearly could have been with a built-in audience because of the show all across the country. And the only 2 films in the past year that I've had an opportunity to view without going on vacation were Savage Grace and Milk, not counting Sundance.
Well, I'm going to speak from a distribution point of view because, I mean, what happened with Noah's Ark is a wonderful phenomenon, and Susan Rubel oversaw the marketing, and the logo was behind the release. The grosses were outstanding. That's partly because that's a very underserved, the same reasons why The Aggressive sold so well. It's a very underserved audience and also built-in awareness for the show. You know, one can't just book a film around the country for one's own wish, based on one's own wish. And so, you know, and films do perform better in some markets than others, and there are more of certain kinds of audiences in some markets more than others, and there's a reason why the grosses were strong and then tapered down. I don't know that film would have excelled all over the country, but it's a very impressive release. With respect to War of the World Mine, I mean, you know, it won the audience prize at like 13 festivals or whatever it was, had the theatrical release, and also, you know, did better in some markets than others, and also it can't just book anywhere it feels like. And also there's the cost associated with opening a movie, and you have to do the math.
Oh yeah, but what I'm saying is a year, 2 years, 3 years ago, I remember being in Michigan seeing a film like Hellbent, which with all due respect is really not that good of a movie. It's not even really a bubble butt movie. It's just seeing gay men get their heads cut off.
It's a funny movie.
But I mean, it's sold out. And Savage Grace I saw here at Sundance, and when it came in, the same thing. It's sold out. The audiences are here. Every time I go to the video store, every gay film is completely rented out, as you pointed out. And I just think that that if we have gay distributors, they used to take these films nationally. I know it costs more now.
They can't afford to do it.
But should we be directing it perhaps to regular distributors? Because otherwise, unless you take these films online, which neither one of these films were placed like that, then until it comes to DVD, and by that point you might not even know about it because it never got a theatrical release in your area.
And that's the nature of it.
That's how it goes. And that's why festivals are the theatrical release for most films.
Yeah.
I just want to say, sir, I know you guys started the community, because I want to shout out to both these festivals that really have utilized the community program thing. I just think the trailer component that he brought up, and that my point was that's what AFI did differently this year, and I think it was an added extra way to harvest the community collaborators.
With some lead time.
And that's right too, with more time.
I mean, there's obviously no question that there's an audience, right? Because here we're sitting in the GLAAD sponsored lounge. We all know that there's still not as many, you know, gay and lesbian characters on major motion pictures or in television. I myself go to YouTube every week to see what's happening with Maca and Esther on Hospital Central, which is the Spanish television show. I mean, I think my feeling is that people are hungry. They'll go anywhere to find characters because we don't see them, you know, in our world. So, you know, lesbians will flock to YouTube to see the German television show that has, you know, 2 lesbian characters, and, you know, one way or the other. And I think that hunger has to make that connection to the audience where we have to, you know, tap that hunger in the right way.
I think that's where we need to change, which is what we've been talking about. Because I know of 4 lesbian web episodes which are out there, which are English language, yet we're all as programmers hungry for lesbian content features, which is why I'm really happy you had Jewel in your program. It's like the only lesbian feature that's here, and there's none in Toronto, so it's kind of hard. But yeah, we need to look at how we, as film festivals, stream content, or what we do, because filmmakers are making work in different ways, because they're also been strangled by economics?
We showed two webisode series last year in the festival in July before they aired. So we sort of premiered them in the festival, did a party, and then they were on.
And you guys showed Sugar Rush, but no one came to it, right?
Yeah, that's complicated.
Sugar Rush,
I don't think enough people.
but Three-Way was sold out. That's because of the title made.
It's also because those filmmakers promoted that show, and it is often about, I'm sure there are a number of filmmakers in this room, it's about filmmakers really promoting.
Like Lee Friedlander promoted her thing. Like, there's certain people who just do that really well.
Yes, good.
Yeah, hi. I am the writer and director of Drool. What? So thank you, Paul, for yeah. I am your guinea pig over here. I just want to say, yeah, I think that we can't just rely on the festivals to promote our work because my producers, are working on a shoestring right now, and they basically said to me, look, we don't have all hands on deck. If you want to create a website, go for it. If you want to make posters, you got to go for it. And I honestly, when it came right down to it, there was great help from Kinko's and Vistaprint, and I've got plenty of postcards, and it doesn't really cost that much money to promote your film. But also, we have yet to make a trailer because we literally finished the film like a day before we left for Slamdance. And but it is great. It's great if they have that resource and they can go on the website and they can see a trailer. I think that would make a huge difference. But we should not shirk our own responsibilities to push our own films and to make sure that people are seeing them because we're opening our big mouths and making sure that it happens.
Yes, sir.
Oh, by the way, Drool is Thursday. Are all rights available?
All rights available?
Yes.
Right, all good.
I had a question also about that intersection between sort of the mainstream and gay festival. It's about premiere status. So if people have a film that's a gay film about a gay character, but it has possible appeal to the wider world because it's about universal themes. If we want to go to let's say a festival like Slamdance, is it essential to be a premiere? And would it be a plus or a minus if it played, let's say, in several of the gay and lesbian film festivals?
We kind of look for premieres and first-time filmmakers. That's kind of the discovery basis that we kind of had success on. But we've had films that have played in other festivals before, and if the programmers love the film and it's a great film that hasn't been seen a lot, it'll get in.
Your focus is on first-time filmmakers.
The focus is on first-time filmmakers, but second-time sometimes. It's not this hard rule. We've had a lot of success with first-time filmmakers with very small budgets. That's how the festival grew. And it's something that we understand. It was founded by filmmakers with tiny budgets who were first-time filmmakers. We've had a lot of films get submitted 2-3 times in a row and have gotten in the third year. They just weren't ready, So we don't have this rule of, send it in once, and if you don't get in, you're not going to get in the next year. That's happened probably a dozen times over the last 15 years.
Were they submitted and then they played all the gay festivals and then they resubmitted?
Some of them probably had. I really don't know the actual statistics on that, but they probably have. We have had films come in that have been at other festivals. Generally, the films that have ended up, winning the grand jury prize or the audience award have not been those films, but it's not this, rule in stone. The festival is programmed by a lot of alumni filmmakers, producers who've been at the film festival, basically people very close to the filmmaking community. And it's a very democratic process, all the films get seen at least twice. If it has 2 very negative reviews from experienced programmers, it's probably not going to keep going through the process. We get close to 3,000 films total. And we start off with we have 50 programmers in the beginning of programming. As it gets narrowed down to the last, let's say, between 50 and 75 films, we have 11 programmers who kind of make that final decision. And those films, those last 50, 60 films, get seen by all 11 of those programmers. So it's about the passion the programmers have for the film.